Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Andrew Zale, the Chair for the Board of Dentistry. Welcome to the Board of Dentistry's hybrid meeting, both virtually and in person. This meeting will be recorded. I'll take roll call after the video and information is provided on internet and phone access for this meeting. A short video will be shown to explain how the procedures to access this hybrid meeting is presented. Thank you.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras.
Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Okay, good. Dr. Lau and Ms. Yamada, can you read the instructions to access this meeting via phone and internet, please? Dr. Lau, Ms. Yamada, can you hear me on your side?
I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
John, will you start or shall I start?
Okay, I was trying to unmute my microphone, but I can start. Can I bring here?
Yes.
Okay, internet access. To view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You'll be asked to enter your name. You will be asked to enter your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with any entry in an email format. For example, something@somethingmail.com. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about the agenda item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking. Upon request, your Zoom video or similar on-camera option will be enabled to allow you to be visible to the board members and other meeting participants while presenting oral testimony. Please turn off your camera after you conclude your testimony. It is the individual testifier's responsibility to ensure that they have the video and internet capabilities to successfully stream or remotely testify. The board maintains authority to remove and block individuals who willfully disrupt or compromise the conduct of the meeting.
Phone access. If you cannot get internet access, you may get an audio-only access by calling the phone number listed at the top of the agenda. Upon dialing the number, you will be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star, then 9 on your phone's keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star and then 6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you have finished speaking, please enter star and then 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. This information will be provided on the board's website. Instructions to attend the State of Hawaii virtual board meetings may be found online.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We'll go to agenda item number 1, roll call. I'll be conducting roll call for board members in attendance. Please indicate if you're alone or someone else is present.
I'll also ask the board members to make sure the video is on and visible to the public as well.
Dr. Guevara,
Present and alone.
Dr. Hirano,
Present and alone.
Dr. Lau,
Present alone.
Dr. Pine,
Present and alone.
Ms. Timmerman, Dr. Wu,
Present and alone.
Ms. Yamada,
Present and alone.
Dr. Yamamoto,
Present and alone.
thank you. And I'm present and in person. I want to make note that Ms. Joy Shimabuku and Dr. Jerry Young were excused from this meeting. Eli, we still have quorum, correct? We have extra? Michelle? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we do have quorum, but in addition to the board members, we do have executive officers, Eli Lane and Adrian Stenardo, in addition to the Deputy Attorney General, Alex Kim, as well as other members from the DCCA to help with this meeting. Confirming that we have quorum, I'm calling this meeting to order. Start time for this meeting is 10:15 a.m. I do want to remind board members to please, if you're participating virtually, please remember to mute your microphone if you're not speaking. If you need to step away, please announce that you're doing so, and please indicate when you return. Regarding the agenda for this meeting, the agenda for this meeting was filed with the Office of Lieutenant Governor and posted on the state electronic calendar as required by the Hawaii Revised Statute HRS Section 992-7B. Moving on to agenda item number 2. Approval of the open and executive session minutes of July 14, 2005 board meetings. At this time, is there any public comment on this agenda item? See no public testimony on this agenda item. Are there any comments, discussion, or corrections from the board? See no comments or discussions regarding this. Can I get a motion to approve the open executive session minutes of July 14th, 2025?
This is Jonathan Lau. I make a motion to approve the board meeting minutes for
Thank you.
July. Thanks.
Dr. Lau, I'm gonna ask you to put your camera on,
My what?
your camera.
I don't know how. I've been trying to fiddle with it, but it goes on and off.
Oh, my goodness. attendance quorums. Okay, I think you're okay for now.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Dr. Lau.
This is Dr. Guevara. I'll second the motion.
Perfect, thank you. At this time, does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Say aye to approve. Aye.
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 Anyone oppose? Okay, motion's carried. Next on the agenda item, next I propose to reorder the agenda to discuss item number 6C. Next, discussion and vote to appoint new volunteer anesthesia facility inspectors. Can I get a motion to reorder the agenda to next discuss agenda item 6C?
This is Steve Pine. I make a motion to readjust the ordering of the agenda to make 6C the next item on the agenda.
Thank you, Dr. Pine. Is there a
Craig,
second?
yeah, Craig Yamamoto, I second.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yamamoto. Does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Seeing none, say aye to approve.
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? This motion is carried. Moving on to agenda item 6C, discussion and vote to appoint new volunteer anesthesia facility inspectors. Eli, can you please give a brief summary or review of this agenda item?
So, excuse me for a moment. Let's see. Pursuant to our Hawaii Revised Statutes 448-30. See, give me. Oh, I apologize. I feel like it was actually up to statutes. Inspectors to the anesthesia facility inspection team need to be appointed by the board at a board meeting. So that is what we're doing here. Is we have several potential inspectors that need to be appointed by vote in order to help out the inspection team right now. Currently, we have Dr. Greg Young and
I think it's Dr. Benjamin
Rotwein
and Dr. Bruce
Tudor.
Tudoki, yes. So at this time, this is on the agenda item because we need to actually put a vote to approve these volunteer inspectors to do the anesthesia facility site inspections, which is really a key portion of looking over the public's health, safety, and welfare, making sure that different dental offices that does moderate sedation or general anesthesia has the proper facilities and the proper equipment. Thank you, Eli.
Thank you.
So at this time, is there any public testimony on this agenda item? Okay. See no public testimony, moving to board comments. Are there any comments or discussion from the board? This is Andrew. I do want to make a comment. I want to thank the volunteer applicants, Dr. Long, Dr. Rotwin, Dr. Tudoki, for applying to become inspectors. These inspections are very important and required by law every 2 years before the renewal. And them applying and being inspectors helps us out tremendously regarding getting these inspections done in the appropriate time. Are there any comments from the board regarding this agenda item?
This is
Seeing
Dr.
none?
Guevara. I make a motion to approve the volunteer inspectors.
Thank you. Is there a second?
This is Dr. Lau. I make a second if you can see me. Someone else should do it that has the video, I think, the seconds or not.
Dr. Yamamoto, I second.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yamamoto. At this time, does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? See none, say aye to approve.
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Next, we're moving on to item number 3, new business. I want to read that the board may move into executive session in accordance with HRS section 92-4 and 92-5A, 1, 4, and 6. To consider and evaluate personal information relating to individuals applying for professional or vocational licenses cited in section 26-9 or both. Also to consider sensitive matters related to public safety and security, and to consult with the board for questions and issues pertaining to the board powers, duties, privileges, abilities, and privacy. So at this time, we are moving to agenda item 3A and 3B. Sunshine Law presentation by the board's deputy attorney general. Is there any public comments on this before we go into executive session?
Would you allow public comment on 6A now, or would you do that after executive session? Because we spoke about taking any item out of order if the public, 1 minute.
At this time, because we have to do the order, yes, we're gonna have to do it after, so.
So I'm gonna excuse myself while you're in executive session and then log in, but then I'll have the right time. Pass this.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Need no public comment. 3B, approve the advisory committee members to assist with investigations by the Regulatory Industries Complaint Office. Any public comment on that? In addition to item numbers 3A and 3B, we're also going to be looking to executive session agenda item 3B1 regarding the dentist application for Dr. Kyle Wong. And this will also be addressed in executive session. Is there any comments regarding Dr. Wong and his application? Is Dr. Wong available virtually? So at this time, can I get a motion to move into executive session to review the agenda items I previously discussed?
This is Dr. Guevara. I make a motion to move into executive session.
Thank you.
This is Dr. Pine. I second that motion.
Thank you very much. Does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Say aye to approve.
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, this motion is carried. So at this time, we're going to be entering into executive session. Entering into executive session, time is 10:25 a.m.
Andrew, did someone send the Teams link?
So I know Dr. Yamamoto was gonna step out, but everybody here. I think
Still have
members are-
some.
Just let me know when we have. Here's waiting for one more person.
No, Chair, when we go back into session, can we take like a 5-minute break?
Okay, no, that's no problem.
Just the usual old man, go to the bathroom break.
Oh, that's a good idea. So what I'll do is, I'll just give a summary of what we did and then I'll take a plan. Okay, thank you. Okay, perfect. At this time, we're returning from executive session back into the open session. Time is 5:54 a.m. I do need to provide a summary of what we discussed in the executive session. The board consulted with the attorney on sunshine laws as applicable to board members and reviewed the approval of the advisory committee members. In addition, we've reviewed matters regarding application of property law. At this time, I want to move to take a 5-minute break and we'll return to the agenda from there. We'll take a 5-minute. Thank you. Press on you. Press on you. Oh. Good break.
We're gonna wait for Andrew to come back as well.
Everybody is on the video, Joyce.
Probably at least. On more at least. We should wait for everybody.
We just need to wait a couple more minutes. We're just waiting on a few of the board members to return and put on their video. So thanks for your patience. Did you put it down to?
Let's fix this video on. That'd be good.
Okay, we have quorum again coming back from the 5-minute meeting. Thank you. We're gonna circle back and go to item number 3A, open session. Such a law presentation by the board's deputy attorney general. Are there any board comments, discussion in open session regarding this? See no discussions on this, we'll move to agenda item 3B. Approval of advisory committee members to assist investigations by the Regulated Industries Complaints Office. Eli, did you want to make any comments or further elaborate on this to explain to the public?
No, this is, sure, for the public benefit, this is a team, let me grab my paper real quick. So this is a team of, advisory committee members for the dentistry board that assists RICO, the Regulated Industries Complaint Office, with RICO investigations and prosecutions. They have licenses in good standing and are willing and able to serve. The board has reviewed their resumes, and to keep everything anonymous, we are voting to approve them in open session. So the vote is public, but their identities are still anonymous.
No, thank you, Eli. Any board comment or discussion? I just want to make a comment. I just want to thank these advisory committee members that are applying for their time to serve the public and assist the board regarding any RICO complaints. At this time, can I get a motion to approve the advisory committee members?
This is Jonathan Lau. I make a motion to approve the advisory committee members for the RICO.
Thank you, Dr. Lau.
This is Dr. Guevara. I'll second the motion.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Say aye to approve.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose? Okay, motion's carried. Next, we're gonna move on to 4A 1, 2, 3, and 4 regarding the approval of the ratification list. So for this vote, I'm gonna be listing all categories as once, and we'll vote and from one vote. I'm gonna read the ratification list. So there's the approved dentist, DT-3219-0 to DT-3234-0. Approved dental hygienist, DH-2518-0 to DH-2521-0. Approved community service dentist, CSDT-115-0. And lastly, approved dental temporary, DTT-388-0 to DTT-400-0. Is there any public testimony at this time?
Chair, there's no one to provide public testimony.
Thank you. Are there any board comments or discussion? See no comments or discussion? Can I get a motion to approve the ratification list for the dentist, dental hygienist, community service dentist, and dental temporary ratifications?
This is Jonathan Lau. I make a motion to approve the dentist, hygienist, community service dentist, and dental temporaries.
You, any second?
This is Mary Ann Timmerman. I second.
Thank you, Ms. Timmerman. Does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Say aye to approve.
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? So this motion is carried. Moving on to agenda item 4B1, the application of Dr. Kyle Wall. Is Dr. Wong available for any comments? Okay, is there any public testimony on this application? See no public comments. Are there any board comments or discussion on this application? Okay. See none, we'll move to approve this application for Dr. Wong. Can I get a motion, please?
Jonathan Lau, I make a motion to approve Dr. Wong's application.
Thank you.
Joyce Yamada, I second.
Awesome. Thank you. Does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? The aye to approve.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So this motion is carried. Eli or Adrian, can you follow up with the letter to the applicant on this regarding the decision? Thank you. Next, we're going to agenda item 5, ongoing business. So 5A, American Association of Dental Boards, Interstate Dental and Dental Hygiene Licensure. Presentation by Dr. Arthur Lee, who is the president of the AADB Board of Directors. At this time, I do have a few comments regarding the dentist and dental hygiene compact for the record. I just want to state that the board has really been closely reviewing and monitoring these dental and dental hygienist licensure compact as it was introduced a couple of years ago. At previous board meetings, we did have a presentation by the AADB on their compact and also the Council for State Governments. We'll also provide information and update the board and the public regarding the differences between the two compacts. Today, we have Dr. Arthur Lee who will be presenting updates and information on the most recent happenings of the AADB. We do have a future presentation that's going to be scheduled for the Council for State Governments to provide information and updates on their compact. As a reminder to everyone that interstate compacts are introduced legislatively and are approved through the legislative process. It is not approved or introduced by the dental. We have a legislative session coming up in 2026 in January. So it's important for the board and the public to be informed about these compacts and their differences. So if there is any potential legislation, able to really evaluate, understand, and look at possible implications of the different compacts and how it is going to affect their state licensings and the general public health, safety, and welfare that we need to be aware of. From the recent legislative sessions, the medical licensure compact was approved previously. The nursing licensing compact have been introduced the last couple of years into the legislative sessions, but has not passed. So I just say that we continue to evaluate, understand, and be prepared on a position to comment on these compacts. So Dr. G, sorry, Ms. Timmerman.
Mary Ann Timmerman, I have a question. Is every state required to choose a compact?
My understanding, and our Attorney General can correct me, is every state is not required to actually introduce pass compact. It would be depending on legislators. to introduce. So nothing is mandated. Thank you. Dr. G, thank you for coming and welcome. We appreciate you presenting previously and, kind of giving some updates and important information on the ATV and the public. So thank you, Dr. G. May proceed at 10 minutes.
Thank you very much. Can I share my screen?
Yes.
Give me a second to get organized here. And you can see my screen all right?
Yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So aloha to everyone, and thank you for my re-invite for the update. And I am really speaking about, as you all noted, we're talking about dental licensure compacts. And who we are is that we're the American Association of Dental Boards. And for those new to us, this is a national organization of dental boards, and there are 53 jurisdictional dental boards. And our mission is indeed to assist dental boards in general. And so we're presenting the Interstate Dental and Dental Hygiene License Compact. This is who we are, and this is the compact we're presenting. And there are two compacts, if you heard already. This is my information. And what we're saying is that our compact simplifies licensure portability nationwide without compromising public protection. And let me move forward to that whole issue. We closely mimic the Federation of State Medical Boards. This is a medical licensure compact, and this is what we have emulated. And so when you talk about licensure, and why licensure is so important is that it really protects the public. And when you talk about licensure, it really sets the standard in your state as far as what's appropriate education, training, competence to practice. This is what license does. When you look at the two different compacts, we are AADB and we are an expedited license versus the CSG compact, the dental hygiene compact. They give you a privilege. And this is a major issue for us. And that's one of the reasons why we created a second compact, if you will. And when you look at compact licensures, let me see if I can move forward. You really are looking at two different identities. I mean, a compact that has a privilege versus a compact that has a license. A license means that the dental board provides that license. That's what you do. And in most states, the dental board only has authority over licensees. In the case of a privilege, it is not a license. This is a privilege of allowing the person to practice in your jurisdiction, but the privilege is really given out by the compact commission itself. And that's very, very specific. So the question becomes in most states, and it's even a problem now with those states that have adopted the DDH compact, is the fact is, does dental boards have jurisdiction? So when we look at these, this is exactly what I'm talking about, dental board's role. And in the issue of license, there's no question. But the issue of a non-licensed who is practicing under a privilege, there's definitely a question. And when you look at Hawaii and you look at where I am currently in Maryland, they are very much restricted because of the role of the dental board and their authority. So one of the issues we talk about right off the bat is that, well, how's the different? Well, if you look at AADB compact, they have to follow the CE regarding the current state. So whatever is the state of Hawaii says, that is the CE they have to acquire. If you have a privilege, you're not required to do that. You're only required to have the CE of your original state license. So again, if you're in Wisconsin or Washington State, where there are very, very different rules about CE and the number of CEs you could have. If you had those licenses, you only follow that. You do not need to follow in Hawaii if you were to practice in Hawaii. And that's a major issue for many of us. The second issue of core problem is the fact that according to the DDH compact, the CSG compact, there's a clinical assessment. They are very specific that the DLOSCI is acceptable. DLOSCI, as you all know, is a computerized examination. There is no physical component or there's a hand skill exam that is required. In AADB, we are saying you have to have a hand skilled examination in order to get licensure, or in this case, in order to be part of the compact. We believe that a hand skill examination validates the, if you will, competency. That's what we believe in. And if you'll notice that when we talk about one exam, we're talking about ADEX because we want one standard, much like the U.S. Simile has in the United States for medicine. These are all of the jurisdictions accept ADEX. That's why we choose ADEX. We know there are other exams, there are excellent exams, but by far ADEX has the acceptance of almost every jurisdiction, with the exception of New York, we all know about, and Delaware. And when you compare our standard ADEX exam with the U.S. Simile, the numbers are very close. So you're looking at a standardized examination to determine competency. And when you look at the public opinion now, you're looking at public opinion. I mean, you're talking about where, they want to know that your healthcare provider is competent. You have to prove that. And they want to know the fact that the standards in licensing is the same for every person who practices in Hawaii. Not that some people have a privilege and therefore have a different requirement, and so people who have licenses in Hawaii have a different requirement. And because of that, the discipline issues come into play. I mean, do you have direct discipline over a privilege? Well, the DDH people will say, yes, you definitely do. It's a compact. You get elected by the legislator. But that's not quite true. What happens, and I'm sure you will hear, that those states that now have privileges, they are either going to have to change their statutes to allow dental boards to have direct oversight over privileges, or they're going to have to change the definition of licensure and privilege. So it's not quite as simple from everything we've heard. And we've looked at this from a bunch of different attorney general's offices in various states. So in summary, these are some of the issues we have. And these are the issues why we believe that our compact is the better compact. And we believe that our compact is better for protecting the public. And that is a key element of dental boards. I mean, some of the other issues that we're looking at that I'll mention from the standpoint of legislators, our compact has no fiscal impact. We know that the DDH compact has a fiscal impact. And when you look at a fiscal impact, you're looking at some various states that are for public, they're out there on the internet. These are fiscal impacts for states. And you look at some of them that are saying that in Colorado, they're going to have a surcharge for every dentist of $100 and every hygienist $30 in order to compensate for the differential in costs. And when you look at Maine, they're looking at almost $200,000 worth of impact that's going to be required to join the DDH compact. And again, when you talk to the DDH people, they're saying, oh, there's no charge, don't worry about it, it never happens. But they have specifically in their compact rules and regulations that they can't tax states, they can tax non-licensed dentists as well. And they can tax the licensees in that state as well. So there is a fiscal impact. Ours is a user fee. If you want to belong to the AADB compact, you join that compact and you pay a fee to the compact. That's what we do. It's exactly the same as the medical compact. So these are the advantages we believe that our compact has. It's a uniform license standard. We require verification of your hand skill examination. And we have, if you will, a license so that every person who's practicing in your state has jurisdiction by your dental board. And when you start looking at various issues coming up, and so to bring up to date, yes, we're being quite publicized now. People are understanding who we are. We just got endorsement by the National Dental Association. This is the largest minority group of dentists that's in the United States. And when you look at the CSG compact, they have 12 states. We know that. And however, they've also approached these other states to be part of the compact, and all these compacts have been voted down. So if you look at the compacts that the CSG compact has gone through these states, all these states have looked at the compact as a whole. We're not voting for the CSG compact. And because our compact came out a year later, our compact now is being important, and these are the states we're presenting in. And our first state is Louisiana, and we have currently states and other states that we believe, Mississippi, the District of Columbia, Maryland, where I am, these are all states that are very favorable to our compact. So I thank everyone for allowing me to do a quick presentation and an update about our compact. And I am now open to any questions that anyone wishes to ask.
Oh, thank you, Dr. G, for that informative information. At this time, are there any questions from the board for Dr. G?
No questions.
Okay. No questions at this time. Is there any public comments? And the public comments is just going to be related to comments and no questions for Dr. G.
Chair, there's no one requesting for public comment.
Dr. G, at this time, I want to thank you again for coming here, presenting and giving this information. And if we do need any updates in the future, we definitely will reach out to you.
Thank you, everyone, and have a great meeting and a great day. I appreciate you allowing me to speak again.
Okay, thank you, Dr. G. Have a good
All
day.
right.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye now, everyone.
Okay, at this time, we'll move on to agenda item 5B. Discussion and interpretation regarding the dentist role in the treatment of sleep-related breathing disorders. The board may also vote on a statement to be posted on the board's website. I do want to make a note that in the last board meeting on July 14, 2025, this scope of practice issue was brought up and it was thoroughly discussed and guidance was provided at that meeting at that time. At this time, I know that the AG has proposed some type of language based upon our guidance at this time. Andrew or Eli, did you want to further elaborate on that?
Would you like me to read the statement?
Yes.
Absolutely. So based off of the discussion at the last meeting in July, we have drafted this position statement. So any board members, please feel free to suggest any edits. I'm happy to make any changes that you would like. And jumping right into it. Guidance regarding the role of the dentist in the treatment of sleep-related breathing disorders. The Hawaii Board of Dentistry Board is committed to protecting the health, safety, and welfare of the public by ensuring the safe practice of dentistry. Guidance is provided on the role of the dentist in the treatment of patients with sleep-related breathing disorders, SRBDs. Hawaii Revised Statutes 448-1 defines the practice of dentistry. The scope of dentistry does not include the diagnosis of a SRBD. However, dentists are well positioned to notice signs and symptoms of SRBDs during dental visits, such as snoring, teeth grinding, or airway concerns. They may screen patients for risk factors and, if concerns are found, refer patients to a licensed physician for medical evaluation. If a physician recommends oral appliance therapy, a dentist can fabricate, fit, and monitor the oral appliance while also managing possible dental side effects. The role of dentistry in the treatment of SRBDs includes recognition of risk factors and referral for medical diagnosis by a physician. Effective care for SRBDs requires collaboration. Dentists and physicians should work together to ensure patients receive safe, coordinated treatment. This guidance is for informational and explanatory purposes only and is not an official opinion or decision and therefore not to be viewed as binding on the board or the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs.
Okay, thank you, Eli. At this time, is there any public comments?
Yeah, there's no.
Okay. Move on to board discussion and comments regarding this positional statement.
Hi, Andrew. Steve, fine. Here, I have a quick question. So just for clarification, uh, the way that this reads and as I understand it then is that dentists are not able to order a sleep study either, correct? Obviously, the diagnosis of the sleep study is very clear in here that that would need to be done by a physician, but there is no, I just want to make sure that that's clear on the board on this statement.
Does that typically happen often where the dentist orders a sleep study for the patient and the patient takes the sleep study and then goes to the physician saying, can you figure out what this says? Is that, or wouldn't the physician normally order a sleep study for the patient?
I think in the traditional model, that's the case. I have never personally ordered a sleep study myself, but I do know that there are, some people out there who are, seeing the patient have signs of sleep-related breathing disorders, orders the study through a service that then provides the official medical diagnosis, and then the dentist makes the appliance based on that recommendation.
Yeah, I think the board at the last meeting made it clear that the diagnosis, is not considered a practice of dentistry. I guess you could provide more guidance if you consider ordering a sleep study for a patient that you're concerned about, but you just can't diagnose that. Read the results of that sleep study, you could add that to the letter. But given that, what I'm hearing is that I don't know if dentists do that often, where they'll order sleep studies and then say, I'll order it for you, but I can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, I just think it'd be an important point for us to maybe clarify, because I think more of that might happen in the future and it might come back again with more of these kinds of services being offered online.
Okay, understood.
Dr. Guevara, based on your past experience with the board, do you have any comments you can make on this? About previous opinions or?
Yeah, I was just trying to look back at if we've discussed this before, but I think the bottom line came down to that this is encroaching on. I know a lot of dentists are getting into the realm of trying to get into some of the sleep apnea studies, but it is a medical diagnosis that needs to be done. The way we kind of viewed it is the dentists are an adjunct to that. We can make the appliances, but again, we don't make the diagnosis. So the patient, if they present to a dental office, the dentist has to make the referral to their PCP or whatever. Mostly their primary care physicians to actually get the sleep study. And the dentists are pretty much the adjunct to creating the appliances. I know there's a lot of CEs and there's a lot of courses at a lot of our meetings that deal with obstructive sleep apnea, but bottom line, every state is a little bit different, and I think that came up before too. In our statutes, we have no provisions for obstructive sleep apnea or actually treating it, and that does fall under the medical realm. So I think that's kind of what we've had in the past. So with us coming out with a statement like this, this one seems to be a pretty good statement that the medical community or the medical license or the doctors have to make the diagnosis and guide the treatment. We're only an adjunct to that treatment. I hope that helps with some clarification.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and I would agree with what you certainly said there, Dr. Guevara. I guess what I was trying to say is it might come back to the board for that question at some point again about can we order the study if it is still then being diagnosed by the physician.
I think going back to that, the study actually has to be initiated. The dentist can refer them to their primary care doctor, but the sleep study and I think what you're getting at I don't think we as the dentist can actually order the sleep study because that isn't in our statutes. Okay, it's ordering the sleep studies, you're actually treating the patient to make that initial diagnosis. That needs to fall onto the medical side, the PCPs.
Perfect. I would agree with that. I just wanted to make that point clear on where we stand with that.
Chair, this is Craig Yamamoto, Chair.
Yes.
I'm back. I apologize.
No, thank you.
I have, I think Dr. Rivera is absolutely correct, and actually all the comments. To even order a study is somewhat problematic because that means that you intend to, your intention is to diagnose, and the follow-up with that would be treatment. And so I do think that there are concerns about the capacity or the ability to order. And I agree with Dr. Rivera that it is the sleep study doctors, if you will, are an adjunct to the diagnosis by a physician. It is a board recognized specialty in medicine, but as an adjunct to their recommendations of their therapy.
I mean, at this time, there's different options we could do regarding this guidance or positional statement. We can actually, approve it as is to be posted, or we can also defer and further evaluate the writing and revisit this regarding more language that can be more clear in regarding guidance, especially for the dentists out there, so it's a little more informative what can and cannot be done and what's considered the practice of dentistry.
I would recommend let's defer this to the next meeting. Luckily, it's not too far out, November. I'll work with Adrian. We'll add some language clarifying, maybe just adding a short sentence of refer to the physician for medical evaluation, including ordering sleep tests or something like that. But that's my recommendation is we defer. Add a little bit more language.
My position is I'd recommend that further evaluated. We do have time to address this. We did give previous guidance in the July meeting. Does anybody have any issues or concerns deferring this and reevaluating the statement? Seeing no concerns, what we'll do is move to agenda item 6, Executive Officer's Report. 6A is reminder regarding renewal year for dental licenses. I'm going to defer to Eli to further elaborate on this.
Thank you, Chair. This is a reminder for the benefit of the public, especially our dentists and dental hygienists. It is a renewal year for dental licenses, especially the dentists who hold the special anesthesia permit. If you haven't already, please request your renewal facility inspection by emailing the dental inbox so we can verify. And then we'll get the inspection scheduled with you and coordinate that after the initial request to the dental inbox. The next renewal deadline for the 2024-2025 licensure biennium is December 31st, 2025, the end of this year. Yeah, excuse me. That's just a friendly reminder for our public. There, I'll move us to the next item, number 6B. Discussion interpretation.
I'm sorry, Eli. Are there any public comments regarding agenda item 6A, renewal of the dental licenses?
Chair, there is one person requesting for public, that's all.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, if you get. Thank you.
Aloha, this is Melissa Pavlicek. I'm a consultant to the Hawaii Dental Association. Thank you for allowing me to share that HDA, which represents the majority of dentists in the state, is always a willing collaborator on communications when appropriate. And we really appreciate Adrian and Eli being in touch with our executive director, Kim Nguyen, who's also on this call. I know I got to see many of you in person today. My role with HDA is one as a consultant on policy matters and communications. So if there are things that you would find beneficial for us to communicate with HDA member dentists, please call on us. And thank you for all you're doing to get the issues of renewal out into the public. Thank you.
No, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate the comments. Eli, can you identify the start date where renewals can be done online or?
Yes, starting November 2nd is when renewals can be submitted online. The easiest, quickest way is to use the portal online if you have access. You are also welcome to request a physical copy of the renewal application. Send an email to the dental inbox. That'll be the quickest and easiest way to get a copy back to you. And it can be mailed or sent as a PDF. Just be clear with your request. Yeah, November 2nd is the date.
Okay, no, thank you. We'll go to agenda item or any board comments. Seeing none, we'll go to agenda item 6B.
Thank you, sounds good. 6B, discussion, interpretation, and vote regarding Hawaii Administrative Rules, Chapter 16-79-141 B2A, which is it's under our continuing education chapter, specifically talking about volunteer hours and using volunteer hours in participation in the promotion of oral health as credit for continuing education units. We are opening this discussion up for allowing the anesthesia facility inspection team volunteers to use their volunteer time as continuing education credit, including proof of such continuing education hours. So I'd like to open up this discussion with the board to first clarify how we're going to verify the hours of the inspectors. That's an action item for us to figure out before we vote.
So at this time, I'll open up to public comment, maybe get that out of the way. Any public comment on this agenda item?
Chair, there are no.
I do have one comment regarding the type of proof or documentation for the volunteer hours. I would look at other boards to see if there's any type of form or certificate they need that you can use instead of recreating the wheel, identifying date, organization the volunteer was done, the specific type of activities and so forth.
Are you the board okay? I mean, given the nature of these inspections, there's no one really watching an inspector to verify. So there's no like employer or something like that normally. So, I mean, I'm guessing the board would be okay with like a self affidavit saying I've completed X amount of hours doing this. That's something that I'm imagining what it would look like. We're gonna look at other, as you mentioned, Dr. So we'll look at other boards and see how they, what information they're requesting. But I'm imagining it would be like a self affidavit. Everything is true and correct, blah, 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 blah. Is that how the board is looking at it as well?
I would say yes, looking at that. If there's any verification or any questions, we do have the inspectors that do the actual facility inspections already. And maybe they can cross-check to ensure that these volunteers submitting these CEs are actual inspectors at that time. And if we need additional information or verification, that can always be clarified by the board's lead on the anesthesia site visit, such as Dr. Yamamoto.
So you're thinking maybe Dr. Yamamoto will have to sign off on each of the requests for their.
I would say not sign off, but be there to verify as needed. Like if there's any type of audit or you need to verify certain things, we don't want to put any more work or burden, on the board members unnecessarily.
Understood. So I guess the form itself would just be, self, affidavit saying, that I've done X. And then the idea is, we could always look into it further if, there's anything questionable.
At this time, have there been any CE submitted regarding volunteer work previously with the board? I'm assuming not, since we're looking at the documentation.
Not my knowledge.
This is Dr. Rivera. I just got a comment. This would be the first time we would actually have anything like this about getting CE time for anything like this. I just have a question. Are they asking for the time that they're actually doing the inspection that they get CE credit for, or what they did? That's what I'm just trying to get. Is it for actually taking the X number of hours for how they actually do the inspection to get some CE credit for that? Is that what that's for?
So I'm just gonna go in really quick. So the rule says you can get volunteer hours for participation in the promotion of oral health, participation in the licensure examination collaboration, and shall be limited to a maximum of 4 CE hours per biennium. So, I guess a part one of this question is, does the board consider doing these inspections a participation in the promotion of oral health? If yes, and you're asking is it their time, all their time preparing for the inspection or doing an inspection report or drafting an inspection report, doing the inspection itself? Does it consider all that, the whole scope of that as well?
Okay, that makes sense, because I used to do the inspections, and it all depends on the office. If it's a new inspection or an old inspection, it can take 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how well prepared it is. So if it's limited to a number of 4 hours maximum, I guess this would be in the realm of promoting oral health, because we're making sure that each office is safe when it comes to treating the public. So if I had to put my 2 cents in, I would say if we could give a maximum of 4 hours by our rules or our statutes, I'm okay with it.
I'm in agreement with Dr. Guvar regarding this. And in addition, I'm looking at the preparation time, travel time in order to actually complete the inspection for the prep work for the site and also the reporting at the end. And I believe that the intention of this HAR really is attention of ensuring that if you're volunteering, ensuring promotion of oral health, of the public safety, that would be something that should be addressed or credited in the CE exception in this case. And it is only limited to 4 hours per biennium. In addition, I do want to make one more comment that, I want to thank all of the inspectors that volunteer their time. They use their time, their expertise. They're not compensated for their time or even their travel. So we do want to thank all the inspectors regarding that. And also thank Dr. Yamamoto, who's leading the facility site inspections. It takes a lot of time, coordination regarding that. So I also want to thank Dr. Yamamoto.
Yeah. So Craig Yamamoto, it's a very important activity or volunteer activity to ensure the public, the health of the public and safety. It is, as both Dr. Rivera said and Dr. Zale said, volunteer, and they do have to travel at their own expense. So I can appreciate the concern about the number of hours credited to them and how that's documented. But I do think Dr. Zale's comment about 4 hours and Dr. Rivera, I think it's a nice thing for the board to do, because I can tell you that most inspections, if they do one inspection, they're at 2 hours. If they're doing a decent job, I mean, that does include a bit of travel time as well. And so it's hard to parse out between travel time on Oahu for an Oahu inspector and travel time on a neighbor island. That is an example. Dr. Hasegawa in the past did a lot of travel And, you know, it's way more than 2 hours to actually go to an office on the Big Island, let's say, and then do that exam. So I think it's a reasonable, recognition. And I'm happy to review all the, you know, it could be a start and end time of the actual exam. We already have a start time on the exam form as it is, but it could be a start and end time that, you know, they can submit.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Yamamoto. And this is a good review also for the other dentists and hygienists regarding the board and these volunteer CE credits regarding their licensure too also. Are there any comments from the board or discussion further? Is there a motion to
This is-
approve? Oh, I'm sorry, go
This
ahead.
is Steve Pine. I was just going to say, I think that's the minimum that we can do for these volunteer inspectors from the board perspective.
Absolutely, and I'm sticking to the agenda item here, but this is the minimum and maximum that we can give with this item here because it is in the rules 4 hours. They obviously do more than 4 hours with all the inspections and all the time and energy that they put into travel and such, but Adrian and I are looking very diligently into option. So stay tuned.
Craig Yamamoto, I would agree with all the comments. I do think it's an important, I wouldn't say gesture, but it's an important recognition by the board, the 4 hours. So it's quite meaningful. So.
Absolutely, it's a start. It's a start. They deserve more, but it's a start for now.
At this time, is there a motion to approve allowing anesthesia facilities inspection team volunteers to use volunteer time as continuing education credit?
This is Jonathan Lau. I make a motion to approve volunteers for the inspections to get CE credits.
Thank you. Any second?
This is Paul Guevara. I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Say aye to approve.
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody oppose? So motion carried. Great. We'll move on to agenda item 6D. And Eli, if you can.
Sounds good, thank you. I included an announcement in the meeting packet from the American Board of Dental Examiners. I refer to them as ADEX. And they have officially merged with CDCA-WREB-CITA. And after this merger, we can refer to that entity as ADEX now. So I won't read this whole announcement, but it is in our meeting packet. And so it's a good thing. That makes it easier on the words. So
I do have a few things for clarification, just for the record. For clarification, prior to this merger, ADEX and CWC were separate and independent entities. So ADEX really developed, updated, and owned the ADEX examination for the dentists and dental hygienists. CWC was an entity that actually administered scheduling, grading, reporting, and administering the ADEX examinations on behalf of ADEX. So at this time, they are going to be combining. I just want to make a comment that CWC previously has a steering committee, but from the time this merger moves forward and is approved, which it is, they are going to be having another committee where each board is going to be having a dentist representative and a dental hygienist representative. So that is something that we are going to be addressing. Okay, any public comment on this agenda item? Okay. Any other board comments, discussion? No. See none. I just want to end this meeting by thanking all the board members for taking time, carving out time on a short notice for this meeting. We really had to address a lot of important things to vote on, such as facility and inspectors. So thank you very much. We're closing this meeting. Next meeting will be on Monday, November 10th, 2025, scheduled at 10 a.m. And we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everyone. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Mary.